Yellow, everybody. I see the milky yellows. Wait, how do you see milky yellows? How'd you even see that? That's crazy. Jason, thank you so much for the tier 1, man.
Hey all.
Oh, did you type in the build command or something? Is the S100 real? Wait, is my camera being weird? No, it's good, okay. Yeah, I think it is real now. When moving your head? Oh, is it just hiding behind that? That is funny. That is indeed pretty funny. Yeah, I almost feel like I want to sit down and chit-chat with everyone and just be like, let's just chill and hang out and talk keyboards in due time, but I know everyone wants me to jump into the build too, so. Wait, the stream title didn't get updated? Are you serious, Colonel? My stream is lagging crazy? No? Wait, is it my camera? Sometimes the camera does this. Oh, it is the camera. 1 second, let me just turn it off and on again. Sometimes the side camera is weird in that sense. I don't know. Sometimes it freaks out. The title is right. Did someone lie to me? Did someone lie? Did Gurnal lie? Dude, I know I set up the title. It said, you're sick, but keep time. Oh, the notification title. Yeah, that I forgot to update. That's my bad, dude. I got a paper cut today, guys. I'm really upset. It stings like crazy. It's stinging right now. I feel a little bit, not gonna lie, I feel a little bit dusty right now just because I did a lot of like moving around today, and we just finished taking something out of a big box as well, and that was kind of dusty, so I feel dusty right now. I don't like that. My setup isn't working, no? What happened? Your setup's not working? I think my side camera's being weird.
Let me kiss it to make it better.
Is my top-down camera working? Yeah, okay. My top-down's fine. It's just my side camera that's being very strange. Very, very strange. Thank you, Boney. Appreciate that, man. You should get a Band-Aid on it? No, I don't think I need a Band-Aid right now. Honestly, a Band-Aid on my fingers always feels really weird. Bull, thank you so much for the raid. Did I turn my lights? Appreciate that, man. Hi, Bull. If you guys haven't checked out Bull, he's the newest, biggest content creator on Twitch. No one beats Bull. Bull is Bull. He is the it person right now. If you dip the cut into 205, what happens? Have you guys seen Fantastic Four? I become the Fantastic Fifth when that happens. Newer than Teja? No one's newer than Teja. Hello, I found you from YouTube. How you doing, Big Dude? How you doing? We saw his capybara build, the red. Oh, did he have the red one? That's funny. Okay. My hand needs to heal up. All the cuts on my hand and stuff. Crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. Did my side camera fix itself here, or? It looks like it's okay. Sometimes what it is, too, is it's Photoshop that actually... okay. Little side rant. Photoshop updates have been trash the last, 6 months. It's only gotten worse. I feel like the last update for Photoshop sort of fixed it. But Photoshop and Lightroom... and Lightroom Classic have just been trash. I'm considering finding alternatives right now just because I'm super sick of it. But yeah, not a fan, dude. Not a fan. DaVinci Resolve for photo editing? Does photo editing... I thought that was a... What's it called there? Oh my god, what is it called? Video editing. I thought it was video editing for some reason. Oh my god, is that dust in my hair? Dude, I'm telling you, we got really dusty just literally an hour before stream, and I didn't have time to shower or anything. So if you guys see dust all over my body and stuff,
just get a better camera, Alexotos Torontosaurus.
Just get a better camera. Oh my goodness. Intro S100 time? Yes. Lightroom Classic is so bad. I've just been having a lot of problems with Lightroom and its Adobe stuff. Also, look what I did today, guys. Do you guys like it? Did I do a good job? I feel like the leather wasn't 100% the right shape for this. Even
you
though
know
it was
what
kind of
helps
expensive,
with falls? Getting a little more cushy for your tushy, stonk for your badonkadon.
So I changed the
for
dude.
reference.
You're fucking brave, dude. I was gonna do this on stream. My heart was beating so fast. I didn't want to stream it, honestly. I feel like I would have just gotten myself more worked up. My heart was beating so fast. I'm ripping off I was taking off, trying to take it off nicely, but it didn't really take off super, super nice, the old leather. And I know that I can't really reuse it, but yeah, I ended up switching it out for this color. I'm a little bit shocked that it had a bit of like a tan, almost beige color to it, because the color that I thought I had selected leaned more like neutral gray. But I think this is a pleasant surprise. I actually kind of like this little bit of a beige more than I think I would have liked just a completely gray camera. So I think this was a pleasant surprise that had a bit of warmth to the leather, but yeah, ultimately, I do think they probably need to update the name of this. All right, what else is new, everybody? The camera looks good too. Hey, yo! Lit all patina nicely? I hope so. It was nerve-wracking though, dude. I was, my heart was beating fast, bro. It was beating so quick. Are you planning on getting the Neo 60 core? I'm not sure what the core means, but we do have the CU stuff coming in soon. Thank you guys. You guys are all too kind, man. Giving me compliments and stuff. Okay, dude. Okay. Have I tried the Night V3s? I thought I did. Isn't that the new box with the dragon on it or something? I thought I tried them or something like that, but everyone says that wasn't actually V3s or something like that. I don't know now. I decided to sell my Neo Ergo and set another Neo 75. Oh, okay. I mean, dude, that's still a good choice. Feeling better? Made up for the work missed yesterday, and now I'm chilling with you? I mean, that's a good feeling. When you make up, like, that kind of, that day, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a good feeling, man. I'm glad you caught up, Ying. Honestly. Did this camera turn off? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, everybody. Weird. I don't know why it turned off for. It just timed out. Just fell asleep. I don't know why it fell asleep for. Shouldn't have any sleep setting on that particular camera. Use the V3 with the Shelby. Oh, yeah, okay, so I did use V3s. Dude, I feel like everyone was telling me I didn't use V3s or something. The camera needs to be down a bit more.
Angle that camera down a bit more.
Boney, that's too sus. That's getting too sus. Also, Durs, thank you so much for the tier 1. The glasses look fire, my boy. Thank you, dude. So nice. Thank you, man.
Happy to be back after a viewing hiatus.
Dude, Raze, what's up, man? What's up, dude? I thought those were V2. Okay, then I don't know. Honestly, I need to figure out. Maybe I can look at the shipping label for that particular one. All right, so are you guys ready for today's stream? So nice. Love the stream and vibes.
Love the streams and vibes.
Thank you, Zace. Appreciate that, man. Hydrate. Could you please bring back the stone motes on it, please, bro? I need it. I've already asked. We may be doing stone copper versions, just some alternatives. They're not going to be the exact same, but...
Good day, Papa, with the fresh but dusty hair. Sorry if this has been asked over and over, but with the orange man pushing for 25% tariffs, does that mean price hike on commissions?
No,
I'm not a political man, I'm a thock and clack man.
I thought about that, and I don't... Even if it did affect,
you know
I would
what
just
else
eat
turned
the cost
off
for that.
You when my last message played. Tier list for reference.
Oh my god, dude. No, I am not going to change the price of commissions. The tariff hike concern. Yeah. Commissions will still say $50 to start. I mean, mostly everyone who commissions me usually does 75% and lower. So it'd be either 50 or 60 bucks, depending if it's a TCAL or not. All right. Where are you buying Milky Yellows? Honestly, Kinetic Labs has been my plug for that. But if I have to buy like locally, probably R&DK. I don't even know. Like, there's so many vendors with Milky Yellows that it just comes down to who has them in stock for Canada. The Leica looks fantastic. Thank you, dude. Please be red. I don't remember what color. It's been so long since I discussed this with them. Okay, so just some little... This has been so hyped up, by the way. This is the Vertex Intro S100. This has been insanely hyped up. It is a $220 to start. There's additions you can do. I guess, you know what? Can we look at all the colors on their website? Yes. Okay, let me actually share my screen. Let me show you guys. We'll share it up. Okay. So, it is $220 US dollars to start. It comes in a bunch of different colors here. We can go through some of them. So it'll come in, can I just use my arrow keys? Yeah, okay, so we can do, okay, here. Blank, which is, I assume, silver. Space, which is like a darker silver. Can I actually just make these bigger? It's kind of too big, but it's okay. We'll go through these. You know what? No, I don't like this. Wheat, which is, actually, wheat's really nice. I got to admit. Okay, now it doesn't want to go through. Symbiotic, which is like a light purple, which is, it's all right. Monster, which is green. Monster's an interesting color. Fuji, pink, very pastel pink. Very Perry, probably my least favorite color here, to be honest. I don't know why. I don't like this particular shade of purple personally. Chinese red, which is insane. This is such a good color. Elquan and a few others going crazy right now. Starry, which I think is the special coating. I don't really know. I have to take a look up close. Then we have cream, which is really cool. Sunflower, did I miss one? Rock. Rock's really nice too, I got to admit. I think rock would be my second favorite choice here. It's a nice, like, very neutral gray. Gateway. Actually, I take it back. This is my least favorite color, but still a pretty looking board. Half-Life, which I thought was a really cool color scheme to go with too. I think Half-Life is super, super interesting. L-Take. I'm sorry, Victoria. But yeah, I don't think any of these raise the pricing on colors. No,
time flies fastic. Happy for
Hi,
all
Sick
the
Vic.
streams.
Alex just glazing orange. Yeah, leave me alone. Thank you so much, Sick Vic. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for the support, guys. It does have a soldered default tri-mode PCB, which is fantastic. Or you can spend an extra $10 and get a hot swap tri-mode. Default plates, you can just pick one. CF, I don't know why CF is $10 more. Anyways, yeah, but CF is $10 more. And then you can do some add-ons over here. It starts tomorrow, ends on the 28th. I don't think there was anything else we really need to look into for this yet, but all right, let's take a look at the actual keyword itself then. CF equals type faster. Is there a half plate option? I didn't see any half plate options. No, I don't think so. All right, let's see. How can I, is this already open? Is there tape on this? I think I requested a color, but I'm gonna be real with you. This was discussed a very, not a very long time ago, but it was discussed. All right, we got Half-Life. Now, I don't think I requested Half-Life. This must have been, I think I requested silver or something, so this is cool though. You know what? This is really neat. Let's open this thing up. My ski data set's so used right now though. Oh man, I don't know what else we could use. We can try doing that if we really want to theme it out today. I'm here for this though. Alright, there's a lot of plastic covering things. I am here for this. Look at that front height, by the way. What's the typing angle on this? I don't remember. I literally read it before stream, but now I have to triple check. Look at that front height. In person, this thing looks crazy low. It is it 10? I think it's 10, right? Hold on. Oh, where is it on this? Oh, here, yeah. 10 degrees for a typing angle here.
You can see Alex's face light up when he realized it was orange.
You know what? The orange is cool and perfect. Or person, rather. That is neat. Ooh, I like the coating on the bottom here, too. This is nice. Look at the coating on that. I don't know if you guys can see some of the sparkles. I'm going to try to make it apparent. It has like a fun grit to it. And it has a bit of a textured feel, like more so than the orange part. Oh, even that looks good. Like the brushed badge looks pretty nice too. The coating feels a bit rough, which I kind of like. It almost makes it feel like stone. Oh, the back of this board is sick in person. You know, I feel like this is one of those boards that just looks even better when you look at it in person. Gordon Freeman. Yeah, he'd be proud of this board. That is nice. Okay, I have one visual complaint, which is, I mean, I find like this is very common. I feel like they didn't need to put intro and then intro and then intro on 3 different parts of the keyboard. So 1, 2, and 3. I feel like they could have just not put it on this, but it's okay. Or just not put it on the back. But this is still gorgeous, dude. The thin side bezels look really good. We'll take off some of this plastic stuff later. But yeah, Vertex STR. We do like that. The internal weights have a really nice machining to them too. The 10 on the front, I don't mind. But look at the, we'll take away the plastic later, but look at those internal machining on the internal weights there. Very, very nice. Big old weights. Price point's crazy for this, $220 to start. We have our pogo pin connector here at the bottom.
Intro, intiaru.
It tried its best. All right, let's see the accessory box now. Can we get a close-up on the fingerprints? Huh? Why you want a close-up on those? You trying to take them? That's not plastic? Is there not a plastic cover on top of this as well? I know it's a plastic, like an acrylic or whatever, but... Oh, I thought it was the same as this, because it kind of looked a little bit weird. Maybe it's just dust that's formed on it. Like right there. It's okay. I'll take it off. I thought there was an additional protective plastic on it. I'll wipe it clean. There's a lot of macro buttons on the 60% keyboard. Crazy to have all this inside and never see it again. Yeah, but at least they did a good job. Okay, so for everyone who's new, I know there's going to be people who say that. But I do feel like they did a good job on the internals, like giving you some fun internals. And also a really great job on the externals as well. Like, even just having all this on the back looks gorgeous. And you can see even the acrylic or PC. And I don't know what material this is. Even having that gives it some extra dimension, some extra kind of feel, you know. It's cool. Like, I like this a lot. Looks really, really fun. It's been a while since I've seen Alex build a full size. I feel like we built one like the other week. Didn't we do the QK100? God, this box is crazy. Okay, so these are plate-mounted stabs. Which, all the stabs come with this? Let me see. What do they say here? What do they say for stabilizers? Where's the add-ons here? Or what's in the box? Damn, the website's so long on ClickClack. They didn't need to put all the pictures in the description.
JWK stabs.
Are they JWK stabs? Is it the brand? Does it say what comes with it in the box on ClickClack's website? Should I just use Bull's website instead? Just to be clear, ClickClack sent this over. And the reason why it's a sponsored build is because I think they're just letting me keep this. But at the end of the day, we usually give these things away anyways. No, it doesn't say anything about stabs being included. Stabilizers. Okay, here, never mind, I found it. PCB stabilizers for full size. So you get PCB stabs. I think this is maybe given to me in error because they also shipped these as well separately, like in a totally different box. So I think maybe for you guys will get PCB ones and not the plate-mounted ones. I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't know these came in the box. This literally came in a few days ago. So you'll get these ones, not the plate-mounted. Screwdriver, always a nice little addition to this. Then we have our gaskets, our feet, very, very nice. Actually, it's a cool looking screwdriver. Then we have, I believe this is our plates. Ooh, what plate did they send? What is this? This is definitely not what I think this might be polypropylene. So I actually don't know what this is. I think this is PP. Yeah, this looks like PP. It's a PP plate. Ooh, that's exciting. I think this is going to be a fun combination with the milky yellows. And then we have our PCB, a bunch of foams. I mean, they opted for some of the cheaper foam in my opinion, but it's okay. Everything else seems like, yeah, the mid section foam here, the PCB foam, actually is poor on, but this is like the cheapy stuff that I find absolutely does nothing, personally anyways. Alright, let's see the PCB. Oh my god. It's like just the right size for the bag too. I'm gonna get so frustrated taking this out, man. The origami TKL has been sick. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to use some scissors and take this out. That PCB is gonna die. It's like one of my biggest gripes in keyboards that seems to never go away is getting the perfectly sized bag for PCBs and then they just never come out in time or come out in a nice orderly fashion, I suppose. No, this is crazy. Thing too is it has LED diodes that I don't want to like rip off. You know what? I am not gonna deal with this right now, and we're just gonna like surgically remove this. Do they not have scissors in Canada? Bro, we just got those, all right? I'm still learning how to use them. There we go. Oh my god. We just got these here, all right? It's new. I don't like doing this with the bag anyways. I like saving the bag just in case. Can we get a zoom job on the Bion Bolt? A zoom job? Oh, like a zoom up close of the Bion Bolt? We can take a look more of the internals once we open it up. I feel like it's too dark right now to kind of look at that, unfortunately. Like it needs to be opened up and I need to put it back in the light properly. All right. 220 is crazy for this. Oh, I do appreciate this, protecting the little switch. All right, here's the PCB. Intelligence technique. Interesting. So we have some indicator LEDs for, I guess, the wireless portion of this. We have our pogo pin connector over here. And in case you guys are curious, the pogo pin connector might be hard to see right now, but it is kind of floating, which means we're not going to have a hot spot there. And I would say we have a pretty wide variety of different options. Perhaps the only thing that seems to be locked into place is the bottom row. I don't know if there's going to be any intention of that being changed in the future. But seems like that's the only thing locked in. Let me see. Is there like a PCB thing on this? Yeah, we have hot swap ISO, which is fun. The solderable unit has a whole bunch of options, but the hot swap is locked into this for people who pick, I guess, win keyless. And okay, I'm gonna probably guess and assume. I don't have confirmation on this, but I'm assuming they didn't flip the hot swap sockets over and give us more options because of the low front height. So I would make the assumption that they're avoiding doing that, which would make a lot of sense because I feel like this board would probably bottom out if this was flipped over, which is probably really smart. Good observation. Yeah, this like we've already kind of discussed, this board has an insanely low front height. So it does seem like if you do want that though, you'll have to go with the solderable unit, which is, I mean, dude, solderable units are fun. I mean, you still get a lot of compatibility with this, so I'm happy with that. Is there a reason for the is there a reason for the up arrow flex cut to protect the MCU? I don't know if that's to protect the MCU. Maybe there is a reason for the relief cut here on the up arrow. Maybe there's just a lot of metal here. Maybe there's something that impacts it. I couldn't tell you. I don't know why there's a relief cut there. This shouldn't impact really any sound at all. It's so small. You probably won't notice at all. So no real hate from me there. You know, whatever. A little bit. It's kind of weird going back to an under the switch flip toggle thing, or under the keycap rather, after we just did the Canon keys board yesterday. I don't love this here. I wish this could have been somehow integrated somewhere else, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, lots of options. Fun PCB. Lots and lots of options here. Hot swap ISO, which is great. Very, very fun. Very, very, very fun. I'm going to put the dongle to the side. So, we can open this up later. Let's put this off to the side as well for now. And then let's start doing our stabilizers. Does it support stepped caps? I thought I saw stepped caps. Did I not see stepped caps? It does. Yep, stepped caps is there. Build ice out today? Man, I don't even know what keycap said. I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were getting silver today, so I had something totally different in my mind for today, but I don't know what we're doing. You should build it plateless. If we had gotten solderable, I would have done plateless. But I have no faith in, I do have faith in plateless hot swap. But I just don't want to do it. I feel like that's going to be the biggest pain in the ass for me. So I'm going to avoid that today if all is okay with that. HMX plateless hot swap, bro, I'm good. I am actually so good right now. You got to use your striker. Striker on this? Blue and orange. I don't know how I feel about that. Are these screw-ins? Oh, they are screw-ins. Very nice. All right, so we need, I think we're doing our normal layout for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stabs for this. Okay. Striker equals Goku build. Yeah, actually, that's true. That's true. Let's move this off to the side as well and flip this camera. How about with the Forbidden GMK set? No, we're not going to do Forbidden. Someone actually already, 2 people have requested Greg in their builds. And you guys will get your fill of Greg in about a month. Or maybe even sooner, actually. So let's just not do Greg. How about that? Mars Cadet would be a really good choice. I'm so hyped for my board to show up watching this. What board's showing up today? Alright, let's put this back. Alright, so let's get 8 stabs prepped. I do feel like visually, and we'll talk a bit about the visuals, as I know we kind of just touched on it, but visually, I feel like this is going to be the nicest of all the 100s that have come out in terms of just what's easy to digest visually. When I say that, you know, the Pangea, amazing looking. I do feel like it was a bit more out there and maybe wasn't everyone's cup of tea. The QK, not everyone's cup of tea. The Fossil's not available though, so I can't really compare it to the Fossil because plus it didn't even come out recently. And then I would also say that this particular board just kind of works. Like it's like visually, I'm talking visuals only. Like it doesn't actually have anything crazy going on to the point where you might have to do some different build on your desk or some different theme. So I think it's just good and just should work in a lot of people's different setups. So I think it works for that. Again, I really like the thin side bezels. This is right up my alley visually as well. Yeah, I don't think it's groundbreaking on a top-down view. I think the internals are really fun. Like, a lot of fun. I think the bottom, it's simplistic, but works. And I do like this like little RGB cutout window thing they got going on in the back. They even have some extra little RGB that's happening here in the front, underneath where it says 10. So they have some interesting visual elements while keeping it simple enough that I think everyone can literally appreciate this. So I'm very, like, I've been looking into this keyboard for a little while too. Like, I've been excited, and I know a few of you guys have been really excited too. So very, very nice. I went and I ordered this when Bull was on your stream. Even got the orange switches. Should be sick. Did you order the orange one too? Did I get enough stabs here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I guess let's start lubing. I have a little scoop. Apparently, Lumen Key has nothing to do with KeyGeek LM switches. Hold on a second. What? But it says Lumen Key on the top of the switch. Like, it literally says Lumen Key. These are really nice switches though. So, maybe it's a repurposed mold? Maybe? That's a different Lumen Key. Weird. That is... So wait, does Lumen Key approve of these switches then? That sounds kind of... I don't know. I don't want to get involved. Not my problem at the end of the day, but... Yeah, it has their name on it,
Q just read to me about LM switches.
Hi, Burn. Yeah, weird. They said it's not their project on their Discord when I asked about it. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't even know. That is super strange. I literally could not tell you what's going on with that. That sounds really sus. What key geeks do you recommend for a Sonnet similar top mount on Alu? Dude, I think you can't go wrong with any of the key geek switches. I do like the blue cheese ones though. The blue cheese has been really good. I think those might be a fan favorite for me. Or a favorite rather, not a fan favorite. Alright, let's start looping these. Back to editing, audio EQ was shitty. What happened? Your audio EQ? Order this in Starry and have Rainy Day in Micklin. Oh my god, dude. Those are amazing choices. Me personally, Micklin every single day. That is an amazing pick for that. I feel like the price point's so good on this that it's kind of a... It's a weird one too, that it's kind of hard to not want to pick this up. Again, I think my only... If I had to really dig deep visually, I don't like the fact that it says intro in 3 different places on the keyboard. That is it. I'm hoping this sounds good. You know, some other things that we have going on. We have 2 internal weights. We have batteries should be underneath that. Pogo pin connector, the Bion bolts, so to speak, the angled screws. Hopefully they don't cause any weird distressing of the case. Doesn't look like it. There is I think this is a PC cover on top. I don't know if there's a piece of plastic on it. It kind of looks like still. I think there is a piece of plastic. I see one here. Like a little film that I need to rip off. But very, very interesting board. $220 for it sounds really fun too. Tri-mode solder PCB is unusual. Really? I feel like it's a welcomed addition. I feel like unusual, but I'm happy. I don't see the point of having a wireless 100. You know, I don't really use wireless boards, so for me it's one of those things where I can't really comment on that. Some people may prefer no, I guess, wires at all. Some people, yeah, maybe they like the aesthetic, as Bear just said, but yeah, for me, like, there's always a wire living on my desk. When it comes down to battery life in like the real world, I don't know how long this is going to last, but I do feel like at the end of the day, I think, obviously I haven't used this yet, but I do feel like if you really wanted to go wireless, there's some great options in the hobby. This is just, you know, you get that with it. I don't know if that'll cause any stress for the PCB. I don't think so, but yeah, I think it's just personal preference at that point. I don't really have any criticism on like why you'd use wireless. I've never used a wireless keyboard, like never used one in the long term. Again, very much a preference thing when it comes to that. I just hope it works well. I hope the battery life is really good on this. Something that we may have to test in the future here, but... Or, not future, but very soon, rather. Super portable. I wouldn't say this is portable. Definitely has some weight to it. I just hate having another battery to charge. Yeah, I mean, just another part that eventually will fail, I guess, but... Avoid wireless wherever you can. I don't. The only thing I use that's wireless is this. By the way, I'm so sick of this mouse. I was considering ditching this. It's double clicking now. I haven't even had this for very long. This is a terrible mouse. I was reading that a bunch of other people also have the same problem with this double clicking. So I'm so annoyed at this thing. It started happening like 2 days ago. It has been such an awkward experience with this. But again, this was one of those mice that when I was looking it up, I don't really know mice that well other than a few gaming things. I was looking it up and everyone seemed to recommend this. But this has been like, from the get, such an annoying mouse. Like, I don't love this at all. I probably don't recommend this at this point here. I think at first I might have been moot in the middle, saying you got to get used to it, but now I just don't recommend it. The coating's already ripping off. It collects dust like crazy. I'm not into it, man. Now it's double clicking. The only wireless keyboard that I own and love is the HHKB Hybrid. I feel like that's very valid, though. I feel like there's some good wireless connectivity on those particular boards. My MacBook Air backspace isn't working, like the keyboard on it. Damn, that's annoying. Can you get it repaired with Apple? That's because Logi moved to Chinese knockoffs on Omron switches. You can replace them with genuine Omron with a little bit of soldering. Should be no problem for you. Yeah, I could disassemble it. I don't know how to disassemble this, though. God, this is dusty. Yeah, I guess I could. Is this the exact mouse that I have? I don't know if this is. Squeeze the buttons for about 10 seconds really hard. Shake it. Oh gosh, that sounds scary. Thank you for that, though. I appreciate that, Gork. Did Bull redeem Flip Spacebar on the S100 on his website? What a mate. What happened? He redeemed Flip Spacebar? Why didn't I see that? A good product shouldn't need you to disassemble to fix it. Dude, I've only had it for like, what, a year? Logitech and double clicking sounds about right. God, it's so frustrating. Like this morning I was trying to click something on Photoshop, but it just kept double clicking. VTX took all the pics with Flip Spacebar? Oh, wait. I'm Bull, really? Why? Did they accidentally do that? Are you using 0.3 mil or 0.15 films? You know, that's a great question. What are Durock / Desky films considered? Are they 0.15? I feel like they're 0.3 and then they compress. I don't remember off the top of my head now. They're a foamy film anyways, so they compress very easily, which is why I like them. But I think they're 0.3. Technically, I think they're 0.3. I don't know if anyone can fact check me. They're 0.6 if I recall. I don't know what they are. I really don't remember off the top of my head. I'm pretty positive they're a 0.3 though. Listen, it's just trying to give you that FPS advantage with clicks. Yeah, it's giving me hacks that I didn't ask for, I guess. I suppose. No one asked for it. The Poron ones are 0.3. Okay. Yeah, I still strongly recommend the Desky ones or the Durock ones. A little tip though, because I learned this recently and I don't want to gatekeep this info. I've said it a few times already. If you guys are looking for films, just get the Durock ones. From what I understand, I don't know if this is 100%, but I was told by a few people when I was looking into getting them en masse that they're literally made in the same factory. Like they're the same thing exactly, same cut of material as the Desky ones, but they come in a little bit cheaper for Durock. And truth be told, I've been using them recently and they're the same thing, dude. They don't sound or feel any different, so. Of course they are, Alex, come on. Yeah, they come in a few dollars cheaper than the Desky ones, and the only reason you'd ever get the Desky ones, in my opinion, is because you want, like, not these exactly, but they come with, like, some extra little stab pad things that you can use. So if you want, like, that extra piece of material, then sure, but... Check out my link. Did I miss a link? What's this? I've never heard of this brand. This is a really pretty vertical mouse. I'm in the market for another vertical mouse though, because this is starting to really frustrate me, this one here. Okay, I'm gonna keep this tab open. Is it a good mouse though? That's the real question though. I've never heard of that brand. We need Amazon Basics switch films to that uber cheap price. Dude, keyboard stuff on Amazon, real talk though. So I did this today. You guys want some throwback? Hold on, let me show you guys something I did for a client today. Does anyone know what these are? This took so fucking long today. Does anyone know what these are? This is like 4.5 hours. Creamsicles I did from scratch. I did not think this would take me as long as it did. And I looked up tangerine switches, and Amazon was the first hit. And Amazon's selling 120 tangies for $130 before tax and before shipping. 130 for 120 switches. Amazon for keyboard stuff's always a ripoff. Even like films and stabilizers are crazy expensive on Amazon. I don't think there's realistically anything on Amazon that I would purchase. I think Drop maybe listed some like GMK stuff that may save you a bit on shipping, but ultimately it's still actually cheaper, I believe, to just go through their website. Thing is, a lot of vendors will actually upcharge you if you shop on their Amazon listing to kind of offset the cost of them listing it on Amazon. So that's why I don't really recommend Amazon for keyboard part purchases. There's been a few exceptions to the rules. Sometimes you can get like Wuche, where they just literally list everything for the same price as normal on the website, but some exceptions. So then which ones do you actually prefer among the ones on your site? I'm looking for good Canadian vendors. Hurt my brain. Good Canadian vendors. Desk Hero. Let me pull up the list. So I can list them all right now, but I feel like it'd be easier if I just did that. Mino Keys is fantastic as well. Ashkeeps has been good. Who else? Mechland is great. R&D KBD. Shockport has been great for me. Hype Keyboards if you need plates. Keybay Tech has been amazing. Beaver Keys. Feng Studios if you kind of want like accessories is really good. Osame if you want keycaps, because they're based here in Toronto. Yeah, and then I think those are the main ones that I shop at. Vint Keys, if they're still, I don't know, are they still doing stuff, Vint Keys? I don't know if they still have stuff for vintage stuff. I don't know if Apex is still doing a whole hell of a lot, but Apex, I mean, I've never had problems with it, but some people may have had problems. So those are my go-to. Unikeys technically has a Canadian warehouse, so Unikeys is also one I can recommend too. So yeah, I'd say any of the ones that I just listed are fantastic. What about stabs? R&D KBD has been my go-to for stabilizers here in Canada. That's my go-to vendor for that. Unikeys is GOAT vendor. Yeah, you could also use a Unikey for that too. But I think R&D KBD may have more options, I want to say. I'm not sure if it's because I'm new to films, but whenever I take film switches out of the board, the film goes under the front clip. No, that is not your fault at all. That is just a byproduct of you pressing in the clip. Sometimes switches, they're not all made the same, and sometimes, they just kind of just fall in the switch there. You may be squeezing it too hard as well. You could have bought 540 GAT yellows for the price of those switches for the client. Ouch. Well, they had these parts lying around. So, but you know what? Really, really nostalgic doing those today. But goddamn, dude, it took me forever. I put the films on the top and assemble upside down. I've never tried that. I've always just kind of placed them on the bottom housing and then done it that way. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. God, there's a lot of stabs here today. So yeah, we're gonna get them all done nice and slowly and get these done perfecto. Perfecto. Have you seen Nice PBT Whale? The answer to that is no, unfortunately. I don't really shop for PBT keycaps these days, so it's not something that's like on my list to look for. I know that this might be a sucky answer, but a nice hot shower, dude, those are dangerous. I feel like if you take a nice hot shower, sometimes you just mentally get stuck in the shower and you don't ever want to leave, and then it's just uncomfortable leaving the shower. I don't know, man. To me, those are a bit of a vortex. Sometimes you get stuck. Hot shower equals expensive water bill. I mean, that too, for sure. Only shops for organic solder-grown ABS with alu plates and brass weights? No, copper weights. Get it right, Fred. Has ABS gotten better? I feel like they do not last for me. I already know there's going to be someone in chat who's going to be like elitist, or because Alex has no oils on his fingers. The answer is I think it depends on the person. I feel like ABS is still relatively the same. If you typically have, it really depends on your fingers and just your body. If you typically have like more oily hands, they might not last as long. I have really dry hands, so for me, ABS is like, works great, you know? But yeah, it depends on the person. I would still say if oil isn't the issue, it's the friction that's the issue. I mean, maybe a combination of friction is what causes it to shine. Really? I think it's a little bit of the oil kind of embedding itself in the ABS too, no? Because I feel like I'm pretty rough with my keycaps, and it's both. Oil's definitely part of the reason why it shines. Left my ass off. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you're okay with that, you can just buy ABS. I think the sound profile is really, really great. But PBT is also, it's also good too. I don't know. No matter what, though, it will eventually shine. Because I have sets I've had forever that
designed
shine.
To be in perfect synergy with ABS caps. He is the $6 million Canadian ABS elitist man, the oily-free version.
Dude. The oily-free? The skin oil can make plastic shine. Look no further than old steering wheels. True. Complaining about ABS shining is like complaining a car that you drive gets dirty. Yeah, I feel like it's bound to happen, and I am very much a person who embraces the patina of something, and I will call shiny keycaps patina. But it's bound to happen. But has it gotten better? To answer your question, it's the same old. Why did I just see you on TikTok doing comedy? Bro, that wasn't me, all right? That was someone else who looks like me. Shine means it was loved? Yeah. I don't know. I am one that embraces the use of something. I think literally everything that I own has scratches, dings, shininess. I don't know. Where is my Dollar Trees? Alright. Battle Scarred is goated. Yeah. I do feel like it's battle scarred, Speaking of people who look like you don't happen to have a cousin who sings an American metalcore band, do you? I do not. At least not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. I like seeing which letter I use the most. For me, the only... I have a few sets, and the few sets that have shined are my gaming keycap sets. Like the few that I've used for playing games on, and it's usually the WASD. Usually it's those that kind of go first, That's why we ask Alex to do drop tests. Those dents and scratches have more character. I mean, dude, everything I own, literally not a single thing that I own is probably perfect. Alex using a WASD instead of a controller. He's so hardcore. I like using a controller. Not as much as I like using my keyboard, though. The orange shorts are perfect. My orange shorts, I don't even have them on. What about your mirror, though? My mirror. My spacebar takes the beating the most and shines. I feel like that's valid, though. I feel like that might be actually one of the few keycaps, too, that probably would shine first. That makes sense. That does make sense. You do use it a lot, technically. What's the least shined keycap, though? I think for me, it would be right alt control or right alt right control or right Windows. I don't ever use those things. Or right shift. Never use right shift for anything. I often have to remind myself when I buy something new that it will be the last time it ever looks like that. Everything will deteriorate or get damaged at some point. Yeah, man, dude, I have some, crazy expensive things that I have saved up for many, many years for. Like my camera, for example. And,
I think the misunderstanding with ABS Shine is that a lot of people had gamer keyboards back in the day with ABS caps and would get oily looking and feeling really quick because they were laser ablated painted ABS caps. ABS is not a porous material, and as such any oil does not contribute to shine on double-shot ABS keycaps aside from surface shine. The issue is some people have typing styles in which they put more friction on their keycaps.
I still feel like oil contributes a little bit, but no, that's actually good knowledge to have. But you know what probably does contribute a lot to that too? Eating snacks and then touching the keyboard. 100%. It can if you don't clean your keycaps. I guarantee you, one of the big things is probably like chips and all that stuff, and then touching the keyboard too. Friction creates a surface that oil can get into and live in. There you go. That's actually really true too. That's why I don't eat at my desk. Yeah. But no, Lanes, that's a really good point. Maybe oily fingers is like wet sanding. That is disgusting, dude. Absolutely disgusting. Toddlers are the worst on my keyboard. I feel like that's probably dangerous. Something's bound to get damaged there. Let me cook here.
Wait, let me cook here. I have shine on my Asus laptop, so that means I have gamer patina hyperglide Rob keycaps from factory. Poggers.
Big poggers, dude. You have patina. Definitely wash my hands more often since getting into keys. Got to keep the caps clean. Yeah, I mean, I already, one of my things that I've just been embedded with since I was a kid is washing my hands whenever I do anything. Which is a good and bad thing, I guess. But, yeah, I think that's also what helps me keep a lot of things clean, too. I don't, for example, I had lunch today and I actually sat at my desk. You know where I put the keyboard? I literally unplugged it, moved it over to the side, and then I went to wash my hands and then moved it back in front of me. Bro, I wash my hands before I eat food. I mean, I do that too. I think a lot of people do that. I don't think that's weird at all. I've been disappointed with GMK. My W key has grooves. What? In it for my normal length fingernails? I've been seeing a few people mention that, actually. Is that... I don't actually have an answer to that. I don't know if that's something that was bound to happen. I don't know if that's like a recent thing, but... Yeah, I've been seeing a few people post things about fingernails leaving marks in their ABS keycaps. Definitely a good talking point there. I don't know what to say there. In my Zen pond, yeah. Time to start powder coating my boards with Cheeto dust. That actually, someone shipped me a board one time with just tons of gamer stuff in it, and I had to refuse that. A long time ago, I was streaming it live. It's probably like 4 years ago, and I opened it up, and it was disgusting. And I quickly closed it, and because I have a little disclaimer on my website saying I refuse the right to not repair something if it's completely disgusting, and I just closed it, put it back in the box, and shipped it back to the customer. Well, way too lucky. I think people have long fingernails. I think that's fair. Sometimes girls have it for style. Sometimes guys have it for style, you know. Did it actually say completely disgusting? I explained to the client at the time that it was just non-hygienic, and they didn't really seem to care, like, in terms of they thought I should still fix it, and they told me I should clean it, and that should be part of the service. I just said, no, that's not part of the service. Like, I don't have a place to clean this properly, so I sent it back. And at the time, it was like, I felt really bad doing so because, you know, it was one of a few boards that I had gotten. But, yeah, no. I'm glad I stuck to my guns there. It was bad. Like lanes, I'm not gonna single out anyone. I've seen some keyboards. Like I've seen some pretty bad keyboards. That had to be one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Even when I used to work at Best Buy, there were some nasty computers and keyboards that came in. And, I wasn't in Geek Squad, but I helped a lot of the time just man the tills in front of Geek Squad. And it was, dude, I've seen some nasty stuff working that. Like I've legitimately seen bugs in computers and stuff, but that had to be one of the nastiest keyboards I've ever seen. Like the one that I received. Dude, narcolepsy, it's just eating in front of your keyboard. Like the accumulation of hair is one thing, like that's bound to happen. And then just not cleaning it and eating is the other big thing too. Eating and just letting dust settle and then eating again and liquid spilling and just creating like a clump of mess. Yeah, like I'm all for patina and wearing in your stuff, but I will say like the one big thing I can always recommend is just every now and then just use like one of those air canisters or something, just clean out your stuff. Easy peasy. That's why I change up my switches, because it's a good opportunity to clean up the case. Yeah, that's a really good point. I bought one of those electronic, like USB chargeable air canister things, and I use that to clean out like literally everything. Even before I ship out a client board, I know there's nothing in them just because I just build them, but I always just, good habit, just give it a little wipe down and spray it out type thing. All right, let's start assembling this keyboard here. I banned everyone from bringing any food in my room. Yeah, I'm telling you guys. You know what else is another big one that people don't realize? All right? People don't realize sour candies because of all the sugary, or I guess whatever it is, sour sugar or whatever it is on top. Some people, like if you're eating a candy, then I get it. You can probably still game and stuff, but the sour candies gets kind of stuck in your hand. And then that stuff ends up in the keyboard. And that's another big one that people don't actually they don't realize all the time, because sometimes they just do this with their fingers, and I've seen that one there accumulate too. And because it's like a sugar, it eventually, like when it gets kind of hot and stuff and maybe some heat from your fingers, it kind of ends up melting a little bit, and it actually becomes a little bit tougher to clean out. Citric acid, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Lanes. Yeah, it's that one there is actually a big one. People don't realize, but that's a big contributor to a keyboard gunk. Big one. All right, let's start screwing all these in. Where is my screwdriver now? I took it out to disassemble that camera before, but where did I put it?
Need a good way to prevent hair from your nether region from getting into your keyboard? Tier list for reference.
Nether regions? Brother. What are we talking about right now? Citric acid destroys plastics? Does it actually? That I didn't know. That I had no idea. What are you doing to your keyboard? Yeah, I know. For real, at that point. For real. First time chatter? Who, Gurnal? No, Gurnal just really wants us to do that tier list. That's gonna be like when I retire from streaming tier list, Gurnal. That is a retiring from streaming tier list at that point. I'm new here. Gurnal spent like $4.5 on this stream just for on the bits. Yeah, I was looking at the stats for people using bits, and did you guys know that compared to last year, this is the very first time, because prior to this, no one really used bits. Someone had discovered that I had left bits on 1 bit, I guess, and sometime about 10 months ago, people started abusing that. And then when I switched off of 1 bit to 100 bits, I feel like it still gets used just as much. But it was never used in the past until, like, was it Burn that did it? I don't know who did it first, but it was never used in the past. And now everyone just uses the 100 bits for TTS because it's, I guess, easy to do. But yeah. The Beldwink Day? No, the Beldwink Day was something completely different. But also a good use of bits, I guess. Thank you, Bezel Dog. I appreciate that. Thank you for the prime. Mr. Start, did you not get a solder PCB? No, I think I did request one though. Let me actually triple check. I'm like 90% sure I triple checked and thought I requested solder. Let me see. I'm just kind of going with the punches here just because I didn't even know what we were going to be using. So, or I should say I didn't know what we were actually going to get. I did request the PP plate,
Another
though.
month down. Cheers to a year, man.
You know,
Thank you
actually,
for always providing such amazing content and staying true
Destin.
to who you are. Much love, Alex. Haircut is nice. Ooh, 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 ooh. You Dabin 14, love it.
Damn. I did actually say at the end Half-Life. It's a conversation from almost 2 months ago, so I didn't remember. I did actually at the end. I started off by saying, oh, Silver looks good. Perhaps let's just do Half-Life, though. So I did actually say Half-Life. I just couldn't remember, like I said. Why would ClickLack ever... They usually do. ClickLack has been amazing with sending out the right color samples and stuff, but it looks like I did. I built this one the other day and I did a plateless hot swap build.
I just watched the Beld Oink video last night while I was falling asleep, and when it came up I started belly laughing so hard my wife was so concerned.
You know, one of my friends was watching the stream, speaking of belly laughing. And remember how I told you guys that when I fell and hit my head, I made like a funny... I just was making like a stupid little tweet saying like, I fell and hit my head on ice today, but at least I took this cool picture. Well, when I brought up yesterday that someone had said, did your head thock or clack or whatever it was as a response to me saying I hit my head, my friend was apparently just absolutely like... He could not stop laughing for almost apparently half an hour. He thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. He just kept saying, like, imagine your head just hitting thocky notes. I was kind of bummed. Kind of bummed it was that funny, I guess. Alright, I can already see one small problematic thing over here. And I will bring this up. But this is a byproduct of having ISO and stuff with hot swap sockets. See how close that screw hole is right over here to the hot swap socket? I'm a little worried this might short, but I don't actually know how we're going to get the... I don't think we can, unless we have to trim this. But yeah, this is a small concern. Yeah, okay, we're not going to be able to fit this on, so let's just use this. Definitely a byproduct that doesn't always work too well with this. Maybe clip-ins would be a better choice, but I know it already comes with stabs for people in this, but yeah, a bit of a bummer that it's so close. Again, not really much you can do, though. This is just one of those things you're going to have to deal with. Hopefully it doesn't short or anything. Look how close this screw is, just so you guys can get a close-up look of how close the screw is to the socket. Should be fine though, but just as a little warning to people. If it does happen to trigger or something happens to short, you know the reasoning why. Alright. Let's do this here. I don't even think that's in. Wait, what? Be sure to clip it. If your PCB goes burnt. Yeah, we can just take off the socket if the PCB goes weird on this. The screw is hanging in there for dear life. Oh, the screw's in. It's screwed in all nicely. We all Gucci. And we're using Jwick hot swap sockets too, which is a nice touch. Oh, just enough gaskets and all that stuff for the PCB here. Alex is a Gucci show? I wish. Use one of those little gaskets. They don't fit. I'd have to cut one, and it doesn't really matter because the side of the screw is still going to impact the hot swap socket. So yours has been good, Volk? Sounds good. Did you stream yours, Volk? Or did you just happen to build it? You did? On Twitch? When did you stream it? I should go watch the VOD. I didn't know anyone else got theirs yet. Fellow Canadians, Terry Fox will be on your $5 bill starting in 2027. Bro. That's actually pretty cool. I saw a Reddit post about a real-life TV game show recently displaying one of the questions like, which term refers to thocky and creamy? I saw it this morning when I was in bed scrolling through Reddit. I thought that was fake. Was that real? Was that an actual game show? My first build stream was on Sunday. Well, if you guys haven't followed Volk, I don't know if Volk's going to do more streams, but you guys should. You guys should follow Volk. That's often reposted. Wait, is that a real thing then? That game show? Honestly, only recently have I started using Reddit again just because every other platform just feels not good to use these days. What is going on with this particular? It's real, apparently? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the reasons why I don't use other platforms. Definitely everything feels very political, but... Yeah, Reddit's not much better, but if you... I can just kind of stick to Reddits where I know that it's not kind of cringy feeling, and I feel fine reading those things. But yeah, if you go to, like, popular stuff, yeah, I can get kind of weirdly echo chambery. I think I will be starting streaming keyboards when I get my Alu Bottom Bower Light Proto from Garrett. I thought people would find it interesting. I would love to see that too, man. You should totally do a stream for that. Alright, I'm just going to triple check all the stabs here. Everything looks good. I don't really know if I have to tune these up more, but I will tune them up afterwards. Yeah, we're looking good here, everybody. Alright. Let's move this over to the side and put our plate and milky yellows that I'm using. Good old milky yellows. The tried and true. Someone said Mars Cadet, and honestly, Mars Cadet's a pretty good suggestion. I was actually thinking of just using maybe modern materials. I think it would be kind of fun with the orange. But you know what? I do think Mars Cadet's a really solid suggestion. Purple Knights. No, you know what? I refuse to do funny keycap colors. Because remember that one time I used retro, whatever it was, retro bright or retro vibe, whatever, on my green Kohaku, and then everyone got really mad at me. So I refuse to do funny things like that now. Everyone said it was really ugly and the ugliest keyboard ever. So, no more. Beige would look also very good on this. Polypropylene is nice. I do feel like it's a nice overall sound profile. I don't know. I thought it'd be fun on this. For sure. But... Sorry guys, my throat lately has... Ever since I got sick, it's just been awful, dude. It has been terrible ever since I got sick. Purple and orange are the colors of my college. I'm just not a big purple keycap guy. Let me keep it a buck. Dual shot would be cool if you have a numpad kit. Dual shot would look really good on this too, actually. If we had a Steam-themed keycap set, that would also be really fun for the Half-Life vibe. You know? technically you could find something a bit steam colored, I guess. Maybe like, actually, what would be considered? I don't know what the hell we'd use. Merge Cadet, I think, is probably what we're going to end up using. I think Merge Cadet's my choice here as well. My throat isn't feeling the best either. Oh my god, can you take a look? Dude, my throat has been not on fire per se, but it just feels always like, well, since I got sick, it just feels very like dry and awful. DMG for this? I guess that's not my personal preference. I don't know if I'd put DMG. You too, Lanes? Yeah, mine has been awful lately. My head feels like I feel good today. I also used my CPAP mask last night. I've just been so bad with using it because it's, I don't know, it hurts putting it on sometimes. But God, I got pretty damn good sleep because of it. I should just use it every night. I should just suck it up. Yeah, my hands have been pretty bad, but for other reasons these days. Boneyard would look really good on this too, I feel. That is an excellent suggestion. Vibrato. A Kikomo set? That could look good. I do like the texture of this polypropylene plate. It's kind of nice. It looks fake with this lighting too. It doesn't look real. It looks really, really weirdly like cell shaded in a way. Motel I don't have anymore. We gave that away in one of the giveaways. I don't have Motel. You look cell shaded. Cheeseman, by the way, did you get the switches in? Ooh, my stomach's growling. Did you happen to get those in, my friend? Last week? Hell yeah, dude. I hope you like them, man. Have I ever picked a bad set? Honestly, Elquan, you haven't, dude. You're kind of like keycap set Jesus. What are you thinking for this, Elquan? Pompeii? That looks nice, that set, yeah. Boneyard? Question, now because I don't remember. Does Boneyard have a numpad in the base kit? I hate having to ask that, by the way. Does it? Off the top of my head, I do not remember. Should? I'm fairly certain. I don't remember. Have I ever used the... I think so. Yes. Okay. Then maybe we use that. You know what? Let's just do the rest of this first. I'll do the bottom row. We'll put it up to a vote. We'll do either Mars Cadet or Boneyard. We'll leave it up to democracy. Carbon themed board and Boneyard. Boneyard would match the bottom of the case really nicely, gotta say. Half and half is not a thing I want to do, man. Oh my gosh. Also, by the way, while I was lubing switches today, I wrapped up on episode 5 of Masters of the Air. Oh my god, what a good show. I truly don't think I've been this hooked on a show in a hot minute. Like, there's been some good TV that I've watched for sure. Like, I've definitely been blessed with good TV. But it's so good, man. This one, tiny-ass plate fork. The other one, no, you know what? It's okay. I don't feel like getting up right now. It's in my drawer, and it's kind of buried underneath some stuff right now. It doesn't sit on my pegboard very nicely. Have you ever seen the other Apple TV shows? Dude, I've seen well, I shouldn't say almost all of them because I didn't even know Masters of the Air was a thing until Ad brought it up. So I think I've seen a good chunk of them though. Bring out the big ass fork. No, honestly, I don't feel like getting up right now and taking things out. Next stream, I promise I will. Have you seen Silo? Silo was really, really good. I also really liked Silo. But I personally think Masters of the Air has been like perfection in my mind. I'm going to watch Band of Brothers after this. Pacific, I have not... Is that a TV show or a movie? Invincible? Which one's Invincible? Severance is a show I'm waiting... my girlfriend wants to watch it with me. We only watched like one episode back in the day and then we stopped, either because it was airing or I don't remember the reason why we stopped, but I do want to watch it. It seems like that's also really good too.
Need an article of clothing to master the air between those cheeks. Tier list for reference.
Bro, that was actually a pretty clean segue into that though, girl. I gotta give you that. That was actually an insanely clean segue into that. I'm not gonna lie, man. Ted Lasso? That's a comedy, right? I heard it's good too, but I don't know why. I did try to watch one episode. I didn't love it. It wasn't really my thing. Goodness, I hope I lubed enough switches for this. I don't think I did. I have some more lubed ones over there. No, I think I did actually. You know what I didn't even realize? Can you take out this badge plate thingy over here to put in more switches? That's nice too. Didn't even realize that. That went over my head. That is nice. I don't think I'm going to do it because I kind of like the look of it with no extra switches up top, but it's pretty cool. I lost interest in Ted Lasso. I tried watching one episode, wasn't really my thing. I'm not really into, I guess, his comedies and stuff. I know it looks better with the cover. Yeah, I think so too. More of a cleaner aesthetic. Alexotos on Twitch. Thanks, man. Appreciate the love. Thanks, Keep Science. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there. Also, to add on, Generation Kill is a good show. Or a good watch, too. Which generation that? Which Generation Kill? Rip my tax return, S100, and the upcoming Sonoma. These streams are causing me FOMO. As a little thing, and I always say this every year. Try to say this as often as I possibly can. I know you don't need to hear this, Crummy, but maybe if you guys want to hear something, be responsible with your spending. I know tax returns are coming up too. Be responsible with them, guys. Please and thank you. I'd be very grateful if you guys, were thinking about how you wanted to maybe save those tax returns. Be responsible. So that's all. I don't want to get into like a big whole thing about it, but just as a little reminder for you guys, be good with how you spend your money. That's all. Does Canada do tax returns? Yes. Okay. They do tax returns, but you have to qualify for a tax return. So, for example, if you work for yourself, you typically... it doesn't always work this way here, but let's just say... Because I don't feel like getting into this, actually. This is a long conversation. But yes, I think typically in most cases, if you do your taxes correctly and contribute the right amount to your taxes, you might get a little bit of a return. Maybe. Not always. My expensive Minerva hasn't even arrived yet, and I'm buying more. Which color Minerva did you get? Be good. Yes, Papa Odos. Yeah, that's all I ask. Just be cautious with how you spend your money. Necessities first, always. Necessities first, please. Does Canada tell you how much you owe instead of having to figure out? No, we do the same shit here. You have to calculate it at the end, and then if you calculate it wrong, they're like, actually, we did the math. It's like, then why'd you make me do the math too? So yeah, they just tell me the number. I think it's mainly for, like, the real reason behind it, I would say, Insty, is deductions or deductibles or like expenses. So that way there, like, you can say how much you made, and then you can say like, well, I also had $20,000 worth of deductions or expenses. And then they can be like, ah, okay, thanks for telling us that. But, you know, I think it'd be simpler just to be like, by the way, these are the number of dollars I spent against what you say I owe you type thing. But I guess in a way, it's good to double check your own work in a sense, if that makes any sense here. All these big companies and they just write it off. Yeah. Alex, you'd be happy to know I only bought one keyboard last year. Which board was it? Yeah, and by the way, guys, when I say stuff like that, it's not to say don't spend your money the way you guys want to. Just be wise on how you spend your money. Financial responsibility is still a very, very important topic to me. And I think it's something that I was never good at. And as much as people tried to teach me, I had to learn hard lessons, unfortunately. The F1 8X V2, that's a good purchase. Excellent, excellent purchase. Money is meant to be spent. Yes. But also, like, you know, spend it on things that actually, you know, like food and rent is probably a better use of the money. Just saying. I'm teasing. Okay. Keyboard hobby is dangerous for financial health if you're not disciplined. Yes. Very much so. I went through that with, I mean, not only keyboards, but there was a few years just because, I don't know, I was in a bit of a mental rut. Should say more than a bit, but, you know, I was in that space where I don't know, just buying things and spending my entire paychecks and even sometimes more felt like it was the only way out of that mental rut in a lot of ways. And sometimes you get lost doing that. And I got a little lost doing that, so. And I put myself in a... Thankfully, I never put myself in a giant hole when it comes to, I guess, debt. But I basically... Well, not basically. I had $0. And one day I woke up and I was like, okay. I am like... I think I was 28 or something at the time. And I'm like, I have nothing. Like, I have no way to... If I wanted to move out because I was still living with my parents. I'm like, I couldn't even do that. So I decided to figure out what the hell I was even doing. Oh my god, Insty, that's crazy. How do I insert the Switch if we don't have that fork? Oh man. With this particular plate, dude, I would 100% recommend picking up a plate fork. This is going to be a giant pain in the ass, but if you don't want to buy one of these, popsicle sticks, chopsticks also work. Mind you, not all chopsticks, not all popsicle sticks. You have to kind of find one that works for you. If you happen to use the foam, you probably don't need this, but arcade cards, yeah, I mean, whatever works. You can try to find yourself a little solution. Oh, I guess not the top here, but here. Pen pop. Also, did someone redeem a compliment before? Who was it? I missed a compliment redeem, and it doesn't show up on the side of my thing anymore here. Pen pop for Valk? Okay, one moment. How does this go? This way? Gurnal redeemed it? Gurnal, I know you try to redeem that tier list every single time, but you know what you'll never ever have to redeem from me? It's my love, okay? You'll never have to redeem that. Appreciate you, man. I hope everything's going absolutely fantastic for you, my friend. Hope the day is treating you not only well, but extremely, extremely in good fortune and health. I don't know. Something like that. Thanks for the gifted, Gurnal. Appreciate it, man.
_ gifted a tier 1
Also
sub to Issa P. They have given 107 gift subs in the channel.
Foldable plate fork? Wait, Marmac. Where is this based out of? The US? Wait, that is actually so nice. $8 is a really good price too. Marmac. Is this like a 3D printed store?
God damn, dude.
It is. Ying, thank you so much for 5 tier 1s. I really appreciate that. Thank you. thank you, man. Oh yeah, okay. So this is like what? I guess this is stands and plate forks. Pocket, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys. Yes, we'll do a giveaway too. I'll probably do it after we're done now, just so we don't interrupt the stream right now. We'll do a giveaway after we're done building. Okay, let me just make sure this is all seated nicely. No, it's not seated. So this is a reminder when it comes to something like this too. If you guys are wondering maybe why a Switch or your keyboard sounds bad, see how none of these are seating very well? Like some of them are, like this one here is decent, but see how there's like bits and pieces of like bigger gaps? This means it's not seated 100%. And what I'm going to recommend is just supporting your socket and pushing it in. And you can already see the difference between this one that I just pushed in and say that its neighboring switch. So just make sure that this might take a little bit of time, but you just go through and make sure it's all seated nicely. I mean, yeah, PCBs tend to be a bit curved sometimes, but you can just flex them back, or it should just fix itself on the keyboard. So just make sure everything's seated nicely. What I like to do sometimes too is just lay the PCB down if it's a hot swap unit on a desk pad or something, and then just pressing down individually. You can even use that little Omni type pusher thing. But this quite literally can be the reason why your keyboard sounds hollow or sometimes even plasticky. So little reminder, you can even hear it. Little reminder to do this. Just smack each one with a hammer. Oh gosh. So nice.
Yeah, you support that socket. And push it in nice and deep like Alex.
I think I might have to make bits more than 100 nowadays. I think we might have to up it. The silence speaks volumes. 1,000. It's getting to that point, huh? It's getting to that point. But yeah, seriously, this could be the difference of why your keyboard sounds bad, for lack of a better word. Bit tariffs are wild. Oh my god, dude. That's crazy. 2025 off to a good start. Looks like the sus chat is here to stay. I thought we ditched that in 2024. I thought we gave up the sussy chat. Alright, let's get our gaskets out here. And then we'll unscrew the keyboard. We just evolved, we never give up. True, I guess. Alright, in terms of where the mounting points are located, this is a relatively rigid mounting point, so there's not like a leaf gasket or anything like that. They're rather wide, so they did do a decent job of avoiding anything under the spacebar. Again, implementation does matter on how this works. However, when in my experience, when we have thicker gasket tabs like this that are, you know, very, very rigid being the word, you're never going to have the best sound experience or the best feeling with something underneath the spacebar. So nice that it's avoided there. And yeah, we have some decent little gasketing points here. Nice thing here is you don't have to use them all if you don't want to. You can just pick and choose. Thank you, Sneak. Appreciate the prime, man. Bye, Tyler. Take care, dude, if you're taking off. Alright, let's slip these guys on. Little gasket sleeves, which are nice. These are always fun to use. If this sounds good, we'll buy them. We'll buy from Mother who wants a board, but full size. I will say, hear me out. I get a ton of requests for keyboards very, very often. And one of the biggest, most frequent requests that I ever get is, can you build me a full-size keyboard? Now, full-size keyboards aren't uncommon. Like, you can still find them. However, either they're typically really marked up because, you know, they're a custom project that, you know, just costs a lot. Or sometimes they look really bad. Like, sometimes they just do not suit people's desk, and people have been asking for them. So I think this is a fantastic choice for the person who doesn't want something out of this world crazy visually.
The sus will never stop. We like seeing you blush, tee-hee.
Oh gosh. But I do think this will be excellent for those people who want a bit more toned down, you know? Also, yeah, I think this is also great for people who wanted a keyboard, but didn't really want an 1800. They wanted a full-size boards. So this is also quite nice. Either cheaper or ugly, or the good full-size boards, or the good full-size boards are super expensive, which I understand. Yeah. Again, I'm here for this. I think this is quite nice. All right, so let's take the board apart, and then I don't know if these are extra parts. I know the feet aren't extra, but let's take this apart now. Can you build me a keyboard with a 15-degree typing angle and 5 kilos of brass? I'm not sure if I can. So this is using angled screws. So this is a hidden screw design with some angled screws in here. Might not be able to show you this until we unscrew it, but right there, actually I can show you guys. The orange makes it maybe a bit easier. I really like that. I think that's really neat. And if someone's asking, well, we have removable feet, how come we didn't put screws in there? I do believe there's screws in here as well. I don't actually know what this supports. I don't know if this is a mixture of having to use the bottom unscrews. There's also alignment things for the corners. Yeah. But I'm not sure, actually. I have never opened this up, nor did I watch any content on this, so. Moment of silence for the scuffed top case that will surely happen? No, I don't think so. The included screwdriver give me a bit of trouble with those angled screws. Really? It's quite long, I'd say.
God damn, dude.
Burn, thank you so much for the 5 tier 1s, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, dude. Very kind. Apology gifts? No, you're all good, bro. So is this a combination of having to unscrew both then? I guess so. Can't say I've ever seen that. And maybe that's just for stability because it's a bigger case, but that makes sense. Interesting. It is a really nice orange. I think something was wrong with mine. It would just spin before actually unscrewing. Oh, that is weird. Maybe the screwdriver was broken for you, Valk. Are they magnetic screws? No. So these are longer screws that go in the back. Wait, Q4 estimated shipping? I feel like that's not unreasonable, but maybe that's something that I'm just like not blown away by when it comes to shipping times still. But I mean, Vertex, Click-Clack, as well as STR have good track records when it comes to shipping. So yes, Q4 is the estimated shipping time. Might even be sooner, who knows, but I feel like that's not terrible. Alright, did I do this all? But not unheard of in the hobby, yeah. Maybe compared to these days. You guys make a good point with that. Compared to these days, not crazy, but... Wait, Manu, is it not Q4? It says Q4 on the website. Manu would actually know more. It says Q4 on Click-Clack's website. Please rub your hands like a fly for science purposes. Huh? That's wrong like 100%. Q2 for bull. Okay, which one's right then? Is it bulls? I will ask that for tomorrow.
Alex, I was eating my dinner and was not able to respond. Bit tariffs. Come on now, guys.
Bulls
don't
is
do
right?
this
Okay,
to
so
the
there you
person
guys go.
who presents the factoids that your beautiful brains need. I always try to stir up what I watch on social media and work it into the stream. How about increased bits for everyone and let the factoids Annie be let off because you know what, Alex? I took a pill that helps accelerate my brain waves.
What?
You would think that I'm smart now. No, I'm stupid. Faster perchance.
Perchance. Thanks, Zany, for the info. Okay, so I guess we're going off Bull's website, which is Q2 to Q3. Still a little bit of a wait, but probably a bit more in line with more modern things these days. Okay, so Click Clack definitely needs to fix that. They definitely need to fix that because it does say estimated shipping Q4. Manu, are you going to bring that up with them? Or should I mention it to them? Or should we both mention it to them? Unicorn, thank you so much for the Prime. Thank you, thank you. Alright, so do you guys want to see what's underneath all this stuff here too? I'm kind of curious myself. If you guys are, I am. I guess we can't use this included screwdriver though, because these are different bits, which seems a bit counterproductive here, because that means you'll still need a screwdriver. But I assume people probably won't be opening this up. This is just going to be strictly for my own curiosity at this point. Alright. What bit is this? This. There are some chunky weights. I feel like this is going to be a lot of screws to get in here, but I'm doing it for you guys. Yeah, they did start their GB late. I will admit, I like Click Clack a lot. I've never had problems with them personally, but I would say that the planning for the intro was definitely felt a little bit all over the place planning wise. But again, I don't know if that's just because they ran into delays or it also was a Chinese New Year thing. But I don't know is the answer. I wanna attribute it mostly to Chinese New Year. They were also late on this. Were they actually late for the snake? Compared to other vendors, I guess. Huh, did not know that. Alright, so let's try to take this out nicely now. Should I just flip this over? Ooh, look at those. I mean, it looks good even with the clear plastic piece over here, but ooh, it shines. Look at these weights shine. I wonder how the plastic will affect the sound profile, but look at these. Look how pretty this is. Yeah, the machining on these internal weights are really pretty. Very, very nice. And you guys can see this over here too. This is floating, so there shouldn't be any hot spots with sounds on the pogo pins. And you can even see where the ribbon cables sit in the back there. I'm going to take off one of these weights and see what we see underneath too. I mean, you don't have to put the plastic piece in. I don't know how much it'll affect sound profile, but you technically don't have to. I don't know if the plastic, though, and maybe this is a part where I'm not sure. I don't know if that's gonna, if the plastic is actually put inside the board to also reduce any sort of shorting or impact from the sockets or switches from the PCB. So I don't know if it's done for a reason, rather than just some aesthetics. Alright, so nothing really underneath, but there are more screws. Interesting. And then there is like some bubbles here, but pretty thick weight. They should hide some secret message. That'd be funny. Pretty thick weight, though. thickums. Yeah, very thick weight. I didn't think to do that myself. Oh, to take out the PC? Yeah, we can try with and without. What's the weight of the weight? You want to know what each weight weighs? Let's find out. Let me see. I'm not sure which each weight weighs. Actually, let's not do it on this. I feel like that will alter it a little bit. What's it on right now? Pounds right now, and it weighs almost a full pound, almost 12 ounces. Yeah. I think it'd be easier for me to look at this in grams. 342 grams. Oops, I totally... Real life units? Yeah, about 342 grams. Alrighty. And now, I don't know how much the batteries will weigh. I'm assuming it will be sort of the same. But yeah, we'll see, I guess. How much is that in American? I showed you guys the pounds. It's kind of choose between the weight versus batteries. Really wish you could have both. I don't know where you'd put them. At that point there, I don't know where you'd put them at all. How much in McDonald's? I don't know. I'm not too sure in McDonald's. Can you do a test without the batteries? If not, no worries. Like without the weights, you mean? No, there's no batteries in this. The batteries would sit where the weights are. Alright, so let's start to reassemble all this. Was this the screws for it? Yes. Instead of a plastic piece, you can have a metal piece that adds weight. That's how the Zoom 98 does it. I guess there's some merit to that. That's true. Like, you could technically, instead of putting this plastic piece, there are batteries there below. Are they below this one? Hold on, let me triple check. Let's take out the other weight. Where do they even put the batteries in this? I'm not gonna lie, that would be insane if there's batteries in this. Where's the spreadsheet thing? I think you can either do batteries or weights or nothing. Let me see. Is there like a breakdown thing of where they'd even put that? Mine has the weights and batteries? Well, now I'm curious. I don't see anything on the website regarding that. It might, though, because maybe that's what those cables are there for. I mean, I don't know, actually. Is there enough room for a battery underneath that? I guess we'd have to disassemble the whole thing. Maybe the weight on the back, the orange one? Well, I'm going to disassemble it now. Now I want to see. Y'all have me curious now. I am super, super curious. These are all the same screws. Now we're going to take it all apart. I could see if it plugs in. You're very right, but I also want to see how it looks. I'm going to do it the hard way. What's the most bizarre fan or chatter encounter you've had? I don't think I've had super bizarre stuff. I think more than anything, it's usually just like really passionate people who just like... I think the more bizarre things are people who just like get into arguments with me over everything regarding keyboards. when it's like usually not even stuff that's objective or true or anything like that. It's just like thoughts and opinions. Oh, did this not lift up? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not going to completely disassemble this. You're right. They're sitting right underneath these orange bits. I don't really want to tug at this too much because everything's kind of in there, but that is... Those are really thin batteries. I don't know if you guys can see those. So wait, what's the milliamps on these batteries? Let me triple check that too. I'm not even sure. Battery. Does it say? It doesn't. Why does does Bull's website have it? Is it 4400? I'm basing all my info off of this website, and I feel like they don't have the right information that I actually want. So let me see. Pre-order, I guess, group buy. At least one. Does Bull's website have the battery info? Via try mode with 44. Did it say on ClickClacks? Did I just miss it somewhere? Actually, Bull's website doesn't seem to have it either. Would be nice to actually see it, but maybe there's a project page. Oh, here it is. Bull's website does have it, I think. Based on Bull's website? Okay, yeah. Bull has a longer project page that he links to. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know how much of actual uptime that'll actually give you, but nice that it has it. I didn't even realize that. Didn't know that you can unscrew this further. A little awkward to get this back on, though, huh? Let's just reassemble this nicely. Here we go. Cool. A lot of goodies jam-packed in this board, huh? So nice. Thank you so much, Ams. Appreciate you, dude. When you be covering the agar, I have no idea. All right. So some other stuff to point out here too. This is all that base coating too, which looks great. I think that's very, very pretty. All right. Why isn't that screw? Oh, that's a different length. I see. So are the batteries needed if you only plan to use a cable? No. You don't actually need, if you can take them out if you'd like. Most keyboards should work that way. I'm going to make the assumption that it will work this way here without batteries in it as well. Shocked that the batteries fit underneath there. Extremely shocked. I really want to see this with the Chinese New Year's colors. That would be really nice. How many people actually plan on picking this up? Yeah, these are all the same screws. If it sounds good, a big maybe. I think exploring the inside of the board has been really fun. There's a lot to love about this. Like, there's a lot of internals that they did a really good, like, including the batteries underneath there is crazy. Like, I would not have thought the batteries could fit underneath there. That is crazy. Everything seems like nicely high quality on everything too. Oh, this is nice. So this is a really good fun call out as well. Maybe a little bit difficult to show you guys, but there's actually foam, which is very similar to what QK's been doing on some of their boards. I think they've done it on maybe one or two of their boards as well. Foam on the bottom over here, so you don't actually damage anything, and it's kind of floating on this piece of foam as well as kind of propped up by the cable underneath it. Very nice. A lot of nice little features about this that I think are nice. Good callouts. Might be some dust on this, but not much I can do. I ordered wheat from Bull. I'm in love with the color, and I don't have a full-size custom. I feel like not many people do. I love the colors that are different than navy and green. Which keycaps to go with each color before I make a purchase? Yeah, planning out your build's important. I think that's a good call. Good to know that there is another one another one coming up though. Yeah. This is the Half-Life colorway, yeah. Very nice. We're going to do with and without the plastic, yeah. We're going to start with the plastic, though. I'd love to combine Half-Life with GMK Ski Dolce. Is that set hard to find? Which one is GMK Ski Dolce? I don't remember that one there now. I really need a new FRL 1800 to come out. Are you into that layout? Ski Dolce. I don't remember that set. I have a feeling the plastic will do something, like this little cover will do something. $70 USD shipping to Australia. I mean, yeah, don't forget though, I always forget to mention this too. I probably should mention this more often. Don't forget too, guys, depending on where you live, there's going to be shipping costs. Those are inevitable. Like, you can't. Sometimes people offer free shipping, but most of these vendors aren't Amazon. So please factor that into your overall cost of your board. Don't forget that's a thing too. And I don't think this is a bigger box by any stretch of the imaginations. Like, when the box that I got in was pretty small. Like, it wasn't extremely big. But just, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you're making your decision too. What is this piece for? That I don't know. Excuse me? What's going on? Why is my music stopped? Alright, so these go here, I believe. These are like a little alignment pegs. I like the idea behind this. Are these adhesive as well? Because these will actually line up, which is really interesting. Oh, that didn't really stick very well. Maybe the coating. These will line up with little notches on the PCB, as you guys can kind of see here as well, which should help align some stuff. And another notch in the corner. But very nice, very nice. I missed those during my stream, but found them later and put them in. Yeah, I will say you know what I always use for reference as someone who does keyboards all the time live? I like when companies produce or have some sort of like, the exploded views? I like when brands do that. I don't see one for the intro. Was there an exploded view that I just missed somewhere? Not a layout of parts. But I like when people do the exploded views. It kind of gives you a good idea of where things should go if there's like a lot of little extra things that you might miss. Alrighty. The expanded sandwich? Yeah, kinda. Is that what they're calling it? Alright, there's one extra. So those are in now, and I'm pretty positive that's it, except for this. This I still don't know what it's for. Is this meant for... what is this thing? Is this meant for the LEDs? Is this meant for this? It's a light blocker? How does it sit? Is this optional? I would assume it sits like this, but I guess it's if you don't want it. It bleeds? It goes in the top case? Oh, does it slip onto here? Oh, it doesn't go slip onto that. How does that sit? Oh, look, it turned on right away when I plopped in the PCB because of the pogo pin. Does it? Oh, I guess it's supposed to sit like that. That would make a lot more sense. Or does it sit this way? No, I guess it does sit this way. Never mind. Sits like this. All right. And that should just plop in like that too. And now we can screw it all together. We'll start with these screws. Anyone remember the poll winner? Oh, did you run a poll already, Insty? I wasn't even paying attention. Was it Mars Cadet, that one? Wait, did I not put it in the LED blocker correctly? Was it not supposed to sit like that? Oh, you know what? I think... You know what? I can still fix it right now. I think it's actually supposed to sit... I see what you guys are saying. Let me actually fix that. I guess there is some LED bleed. I think it's supposed to be... Not reversed. I think it's supposed to be... like this. Although these are front-firing LEDs. So they fire this way. Like, they fire towards me. I think it's supposed to sit like this. It's a little awkward, though, isn't it? I don't know. Like this, right? I'm guessing? That's how I used it? Okay. A little awkward, but I'll make it work. Do that. Oops, I screw. New poll, decide. There you go, Insty put a new poll in. Fingers crossed it looks as good as it sounds. Or, sorry, sounds as good as it looks. Oh, stomach is growling. Not even hungry. Today I made myself a hot dog today for lunch. And then I had a big bowl of... Actually, no, sorry, I didn't have cereal. I had a bagel this morning. And then we had salmon and stuff for dinner. No, just normal hot dog. We only buy bagels. We only buy hot dogs when they're on sale because hot dogs here, I don't know about you guys, but hot dogs can get quite pricey quite quickly. Ooh, that is... I don't know if I like the RGB on the orange unit, but that is clean RGB. That is like... And this is with the studio lights on. That is incredibly smooth. Look at that. Maybe from my angle, like right here, you can kind of see some hot spots, but if you just look at it dead on, like that is incredibly, incredibly smooth. That is really nice, actually. How's it look from here? Okay, okay. I don't know, again, I don't know if it works with this particular orange color, but that looks good. Yeah, we can get a whole bunch of different views of the keyboard for you. And I would say this is relatively easy to put together. Like, I think the only reason it's been taking us a little while is because there's just a lot more switches and stabilizers. But even so, like, there's not a whole lot of moving parts. We didn't have to take apart the bottom just to show you guys either. You're probably not going to do that. So this is a pretty simple build, I'd say. Not really a whole lot going on. I do wish they gave us a screwdriver that worked for the internals too, but it's fine. Alright, these feet just press in. I hope these feet work well. It's ribbed a little bit too, so I kind of look at this now because there's been feet that don't include that. See how it's ribbed a little bit? So when you push these in, it should lock in nicely. And it shouldn't just fall out, but I guess we'll see. They sit pretty flush with the keyboard. So I don't think these will rip out as you're kind of moving them around. See, they're not very much protruding outwards here. All right. And what is the poll saying here? Boneyard or Mars Cadet? We're basing off this poll, not the last poll. Please vote for whatever keycap set you want. This poll, not the last poll. I guess I still might need this because we're going to be removing the plastic covering on the inside afterwards. Alright, so the screws were here and where? Here. Okay, so I guess I have to remove 4 keycaps, 5 keycaps later. If it ties, I'm picking whatever I want. Boneyard is GOAT, but Mars Cadet will look better in this color, I think. I'm not going to sway the votes. You guys can just pick whatever you guys want. Boneyard Alphas and Mars Cadet mods. I mean, maybe. That might look interesting. I mean, wouldn't that just be Skidata at that point there? Wouldn't that just be that? I feel like. Sorta. Mecha Kaiju? Mars Cadet is a worse carbon? I disagree with that, dude. You can tell Alex prefers Mars Cadet from his tone. I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys pick. I'll just leave it up to you. 2 streams in a row talking about ribbed up? Okay, you know what? You know what here, guys? Alex doesn't like my suggestion? No, I like your suggestion. Dude, Boneyard's one of my favorite sets. It's one of the GOAT sets, dude. It's such a nice set. It works with everything. Let's see, what's gonna win? Are there any last minute voters? Any last minute votes? Nope. It looks like Boneyard has won. Alright, let me go find Boneyard. Give me one moment. Why is it rigged? Explain to me, why is it rigged? Is it on a keyboard? I know I think I have it on a board, I just don't remember which board it's on. And that's going to be the crux of my situation here. Let me just get the tin for it out first though. Which one has it? Here is Boneyard, but I need to find which board I had it on last. Alright, so let me find what board it was on. Was it on the Orbit? Oh, yeah, it was. Literally on the Orbit. Alright. Damn, the Orbit looks so good with that though. God, I really hope I have all the parts to this. If I don't, please don't hate me. Yeah, okay. Elquan, good choices per usual. Good choice. Let me move some stuff out of the way here. This is gonna look good? I think so too. I'm interested to see what this is going to sound like. Very, very interested. This we don't need. 10. Let's take this stuff off first. We'll use the artisan for this too. I concede Boneyard's going to look fire. I would have still preferred Mars Cadet. You know, for a certain, I guess to a certain degree, I think I would have liked to see what Mars Cadet would have looked like on this, but I'm fine with this. I'm gonna go get a desk pad after this too, because, you know, I wasn't thinking and my small desk pad is just not gonna work on this. Yeah, this is a nice set for this. All right, this is quite nice. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil the sound, I'll wait. Could you do another 2 hours of streaming, just doing keycaps? Oh, just like putting them on, like really slowly. What's your opinion on switch modification in general? I switched a bunch of MPE stems and some extra GAT yellows and it sounds really nice. Dude, I think that's half the fun of the hobby. I think if you're really wanting to dabble into something custom, you're gonna end up breaking open a switch, modding something, and you know, you're gonna have a lot of fun. You might not get things done right the first time. Maybe you apply too much lubricant. Maybe you use the wrong springs. Maybe you put too little lubricant. Maybe you try to Franken switch something and you use all the wrong parts. But that's
Stop
half the
teasing
fun, right?
me
Trial
with the
and error.
sound test. Save it for the end, please.
Okay,
I can't handle it.
Oh gosh. We'll wait. I do like the sound of the keycaps mounting though. It does sound pretty nice. Should I pull this off? Yeah, this is starting to bother me. I don't like when the plastic dangles like that. Oh god. Colonel, I see that. I see it, Gurnal. Thoughts on Angel closing shop? I mean, Angel wasn't going to do this forever. He had a few cool ideas, and I mean, Angel's just living his life. I love Angel. so casual with that peel. I mean, it was a small peel anyways. TTS failed? I don't know why. Because it probably had the word boneyard in it or something. TTS is bashful? Maybe a little. Is the intro badge removable? Yes. And you can even just put keycaps, switches and keycaps there instead. I do hope maybe down the road they maybe even open this up. But, oh gosh. On a date with a nice gal, guy, other, and your boneyard starts rising. Dude, I don't want to read this anymore. This is... probably pairing, that's why. Because it's wireless as well. So it's probably waiting to be paired, I assume. The keycaps are GMK Boneyard. Little boneyard action. So to round up the board, we have a $220 price point to start. I feel like mostly everyone will fit into that $220 range. I think you may get a little bit higher depending if you really want the extras or maybe a different plate. Maybe you really want the carbon fiber. But I think $220 will be just about everyone's price point for this. I think the board comes in with a lot of good colorways. I think even past that, the board does a really good job of making the assembly fairly easy. I like the use of the pogo pin connector here. I think that works really, really nice. The aesthetic of the board is simple, but works.
Here's money for some hot dogs.
Thank you, I appreciate the 20, man. Dude, hot dogs are nice, and I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. That's very kind of you, man.
I appreciate the effort, Alex. We'll take it one step at a time with your shyness.
I'm a little bashful, yes. Every keyboard I have has milky yellows, yes. Street meat on Front Street? Street meat. Do they have street meat there? Is there a scooped 5?
You have to easy Alex into it. He's shy and needs to be wined and dined first.
Well, between Convention Center and Rogers Center. How much are street meat hot dogs these days? I haven't had one in a long time. Blanche White, been watching you on YouTube and your first time watching live. Thank you for being here. Hopefully things are going well for you. Hopefully you're enjoying this stream. I don't know how long you've been tuned in, but if you're just tuning in, hopefully you're enjoying it now. But yeah, overall really nice. I think there's a lot of good things to like about this. Again, price point is out of this world for the quality you're getting. Even, from just assembling the board, it feels extremely high-end. Which is exactly what we want to see, right? This does not go here. I saw Alex in person once. He was not shy. He said, "Hi, Alex." And I said, "I am not Alex. Alexotos, who I am online. I am Alexander." Okay, you know what? I did not do that. Don't spread rumors. It's 5 a.m. here, and now I'm craving for hot dogs. Oh, I'm sorry. No food. Are we gonna give up on the food talk? I feel like we should. Maybe this isn't healthy. I don't think that's the right profile. I'm also running out of Alex videos on YouTube. I should have a bunch coming out this week, but I mean, if you guys have already watched the live streams, then you probably have seen those. So I don't know if you guys want to watch them again, but totally up to you.
I've got to be real careful when I buy hot dogs. I turn into a different person. I call him the Glizzy Goblin, and boy do he gobble glizzies, sometimes too many glizzies gobbled.
Damn, bro. How much is this board? $220 to start. $220 USD, plus whatever shipping is. I don't know what shipping will be to your region, but that is also a variance in which you should take into account. The internet has ruined the world. Honestly, I'm with you, bro. The full right shift is throwing me off. Would you guys build this with the split right? Actually, you know what? It probably wouldn't look bad. Nah, I'd leave the full. I'd leave the full of this. I'd leave full personally. I feel like this is exactly the right thing here for this. This is not what I need. Pause goes here. Split right shift, left split. Oh no, Fried. I know what Fried likes. Fried definitely likes the every key has to be multiple keys. I vibe with it though. Split right shift is the way though. Why lube more stabs when few do trick? You know, you're not wrong. You're not incorrect there. F9. Wait, did I fuck this up? I did screw this up. I put F5. No, wow, no one corrected me. That is the first time. Thank you. And goes here. Is this the delete profile we need? I think so. F6. We're too mesmerized by the board to notice. I don't blame you guys. The board is quite nice. I did see it, just wanted to see how long it would take to... Oh, wow. Seth is testing me. Seth is like, yeah, saw that shit. Was waiting for you to fix it. Scroll lock normally here? I think so, right? All right. Drop the keycap. What would you use the spare key for a right shift? I think for me, to be completely real, it's an aesthetic thing, man. I don't even use this at all. But I typically, if I have this split, I'm making the split key a function key. That is normally what I'm doing, but mainly aesthetics for most boards for me. All right. What do we think? I'm gonna get a desk pad, and we're gonna grab a desk pad real quick here, but what do you guys think? Do we like the board? And that beautiful orange. Looks incredible. I need to hear it first. Yeah, and again, we're doing the plastic insert first. So with that thing we screwed down. My desk is not prepared for this. Man, this is nice. That low front height is looking great here. The orange is really nice on this board, though. Orange, you glad they sent you this? Yeah, I'm glad. All right. Very, very nice. Does it thock? We'll find out. No, it's just polished, so it's just reflecting off things in the room. The badge. Again, I don't love how intro is on every aspect of the board everywhere, but I mean, it is what it is. It's like the only minor complaint I have visually. But we did milky yellows. They're done with a 50... Oh god, did I use 53 or 55 for these? Now I don't remember. No, 60. I used 60 for these. These were done recently. 60 gram springs. They're filmed with Duroc films, not Deskies. And then I used 205 on them. And then we're using the polypropylene plate with all the gaskets installed, no foams. We're using that plastic sheet at the bottom. Again, I don't know if we're not supposed to use it, because I don't know if that actually prevents the keyboard from bottoming out or touching the bottom of the keyboard here, but let's see what this sounds like. Although, I think I need to turn the keyboard into... Hold on a second. I think I may need to turn the board into wired mode, which is probably one of these switches over here. No, I just don't. You can use it wirelessly or wired mode, but I don't. It's working now. I just had to turn it to wired mode. There's a switch underneath the caps lock. Okay, we're gonna start typing now. It is a little bit more resonant. Like, the spacebar is definitely in your face, which I'm surprised about. But it does sound nice with the rest of the board. I'm going to try some different spacebars, but... I was also half expecting something a bit more flat, but this is very nice. No, that relief cut in the arrow key is not going to do much, guys. Let me tell you right now. So you can hear a little bit of resonance in the backspace. The enter is fantastic. I do like the spacebar on this. The numpad sounds really good too. No, I didn't get a solder PCB. So let's try some different spacebar as well. I just so happen to have, very weird, a Nixie sitting here. Very strange. So we're going to try a different switch here. Let's see what it sounds like. I feel like the Nixie will probably be a bit more bright sounding, but let's see. Maybe it'll give us a bit of a different sound profile here. I'm going to take out the keyboard here because I'm typing probably random things. There we go. Got it seated. All right. Actually, you know what? I would say this is like relatively the same. Maybe a bit more sharp. Yeah, maybe louder.
Oh wow. A wild pocket Nixie appeared.
It is nice. It is very, very nice. I wonder what else I can try. I'm curious. You like the Nixie better? Really? I kind of like the milky yellow, but obviously it's all preference-based, guys. You just don't have to agree with me or like what I like, but... Really weird you didn't toss that Nixie out after most recent tier list. Oh my god, dude. I'm never going to live this down. Let's see, what else can I try? Where's my little box of switches there? Did I not have one? I thought I had my... Oh, literally behind everything. I usually type like, I love chat or I love you guys are the best type thing. Honestly, sometimes I just get lost and I just kind of melodically type things depending on what I like. I kind of have like a formula in my head for how I move my fingers, I suppose. But yeah, it's usually like, I love you all or something like that. So, what else can I try? We can try another version of a Gatoron switch. This is a Gatoron Minx switch. Could try that. We could also try a vintage switch. I mean, there's a bunch of different things we could try. I'm down to try this too. I feel like this is a bit deeper in comparison to some of the other things. A little awkward to push the switch in here, but... I mean, very deep in comparison to the other things. I didn't lube this switch, by the way. Or I don't think I think this might have been factory lubed, so I can hear some spring ping, some like spring crunch on it, which I'm not like in love with, but I mean, definitely deeper. I still actually don't like this as much as I like the other switches. But I will say there's some contrast in the way the spacebar sounds from the alphas. I will say that the spacebar seems to be leaning a bit more bright, or not even bright, but louder sounding in comparison to the alphas, which could be your cup of tea. Or maybe not, I am not sure. A cream soda, I don't think I have a cream soda like on the ready right now. But we could do an HMX switch if you guys want. We could do... what's this, a Sugar Rush? Let's do an HMX Sugar Rush switch. Actually, that sounds pretty good too. Sounds really nice. Fried. Yeah, I mean, very nice. I kind of actually, you know what? Maybe this is my favorite one. I think the spacebar sounds pretty good on this. All right, let's take out the plastic thing on the inside. This is with the plastic. Again, I just want to make it super clear. I wish I had confirmation on this. I don't know if it's like a necessary thing to keep the inside plastic bit on. I don't know. So I just want to make that extremely clear before I do this, and maybe we like or dislike the sound profile. It may be a required thing, I'm just not sure. Which switches I have to take off here? I would say this is a rather soft typing feel. I mean, you can even see some movement if you press really hard, but it's relatively soft. Not as soft as some of the leaf spring stuff. Actually, I should use the word, it's more of a medium firmness, right in the middle, which is pretty typical, I think, of most boards we've looked at, with the exception of very few. Gaskets on the spacebar? There's no gaskets on the spacebar with this build. Yeah, the HMX switch is pretty nice. I remember seeing the cover was for sound purposes, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a double purpose thing, but again, I just want to be very clear that I don't know if it's supposed to serve some sort of dual purpose here. Where's the screwdriver thing now? Where did I stick that? Here it is. Yeah, we're going to remove the clear window now. See if that changes the sound. Again, though, I really do like the sound of this keyboard. This is quite impressive. An HMX switch on a spacebar that Alex likes? What do you mean? I like HMX switches on spacebars. Oh, there's also this too. One of these didn't come out nicely. Which one is it? You're taking off? Take care. I don't know if you're also going to bed too, but see ya, Shiki. What do you mean? I like HMX stuff. I think there are HMX switches though that I find way too plasticky though. Like for example, I know that hyacinths are really popular. I just don't like hyacinths. I low-key wish it wasn't a hidden screw. Yeah, I feel like this is probably the least annoying hidden screw thing I've built to date, though. There's only 4, so it's not like you have to disassemble the whole board, which is nice. So I don't mind that, just because it's not overly crazy. Zinhais are the same thing. I don't like Zinhais very much. I've always thought Zinhais were a bit too much for me as well. I also really like this pogo pin. This is so handy to have. Oh wait, we need the actual screwdriver for this. Dude, I've been asking about roller switches because I have one batch like that I have not actually put on a board yet. But I've used a few batches of them and I really like them. But I did get some info that they might be coming back, just unsure when. Alright, we're removing the plastic window over here, the thing kind of covering the weights. Really hoping this doesn't move enough that it would short anything, but we'll see. For the Envoy, I think, honestly, everything. I mean, I really like either going with long pole switches for that. I feel like any of the plates work great for that. But I feel like if you're using anything that's non-long pole, Aluminum plate is super, super good for that. Definitely go with alu in that case. Alrighty. Ow. Just hit my foot against the... Oh, man. That one hurt. Milky yellows or cherry black IMO? Alex, I bought all the stuff for Philly cheesesteaks, but you forgot to buy the bread. Can we get a moment in silence for fried? That is very unfortunate. What kind of bread do you normally use with Philly cheesesteaks again? Isn't it just like a normal bun? What's the usual combination with that? With Philly cheesesteaks? Actually, I don't even know what that roll is then, Grunger. Hoagie buns? Yeah. It's like a softer bread, usually. Alright, so, here we go. Round 2 with the keyboard. This time no acrylic window, or no, I shouldn't say plastic window. Okay, I actually want to make sure all these tab things are aligning properly here. We are good. I feel like, I have a weird feeling this might brighten up the alphas a bit, but in a very pleasant way. Instead of making it sound a bit more deep. But I guess we'll see. Time will tell here. There is foam included with the build. It seemed like in my package anyways. But it was a PE sheet. It's right here. I'm trying to see if I remember it all. PE sheet, a bottom piece of foam, which I don't know if I'd use the bottom foam. What's going on here? The board will slap with cherry blues. Yeah, could slap. It has screws on the top and the bottom. I think mainly because for support of the frame here. That's what I would make the assumption of. And maybe they just didn't want to have a design with lots of screws in the bottom, but they also needed the support in the middle. I'm going to say this from a standpoint of maybe why. Again, I didn't design this board. If you look at it from here, right? If they had just done these 3 screws, you couldn't put screws anywhere really over here because this has batteries, it has LED strips, it has a daughter board over here. So maybe this was off limits. If they decided to put maybe 1 more screw over here, yeah, maybe visually it would have been fine, or even just 2 more. But I feel like there could have been some potential bowing or some sort of gap that could have been created with this part over here. So I assume they're doing this not only for visual style, like aesthetics, but also to make sure that it's not flexing or bowing in any certain areas. We've seen lots of keyboards where they only put screws in 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, and they have some bowing. So I'm assuming, even though this is metal and you would maybe think otherwise, but I'm assuming that's why they did it. I don't think they could have done a catchball system with this. With the front height that they're using, I actually think that might have been out of the realm of possibility. But again, I don't know, but I think that might have been too thin. Front height might be too low for that. I will also say, as someone who doesn't mind the ball catch system, I don't absolutely love the ball catch system. It's just okay. I think maybe that's the words I'm looking for. It's just alright. I feel like it's rather violent to take off and on. And then you could run into potential issues. No, Lego, we haven't done it yet. The Toro 60 isn't it this week? Later this week? I have it in my ergo and tons of resonance and durability aren't worth it? Yeah. I don't know. Is there a difference? I feel like there kind of is. Hold on a second. I feel like sort of. Let's plug it back in. All right, so this time, no plastic window on the inside here. And I plugged it in. I'm going to type some stuff here and see if it shorts, I guess. Okay. I don't think it's shorting at all, even with a lot of pressure. So I think we're good. All right, so let's see if this sounds any different at all, I guess. I think it does. I feel like it sounds a little bit less bassier, like less bassy, more, I guess, aluminum, or like, I don't know the right word I'm looking for here. Definitely has a different higher resonance to it, which is, or higher frequency sound to it, which is a little bit nicer in my opinion. Yeah, maybe more open's a better word to use, Grunger. Yeah, I kind of like this more without the plastic window. Messed up my typing there. The backspace is definitely a little weak. I feel like that might be the only key that's like super weak sounding. I don't know. Do I like this more? I feel like I do. I kind of want to go back and watch both of the sound comparisons, like back and forth type thing, but like either way, I'd be happy. If that makes sense. I like the ability that I have the option to, and I don't have to worry about shorting anything on the keyboard. But I think right now, if my ears aren't lying to me, with the plastic seems a little bit deeper sounding overall. Without the plastic, it kind of brings back some of that roominess inside the keyboard. Maybe even gives it a bit more of a top-end sound. Maybe that's the right words I'm looking for. So it is nice that you can just unscrew this and get what feels like not really a subtle sound difference, but maybe you get two different kind of variations of the keyboard sound. But really, I like the up arrow on this. No JSON file for this? I didn't get one either. I mean, you know what? That's something we should bring up too. I really hope this is compliant with VIA and we don't have to stick with using a JSON file. I don't know if this is also going to be a VIAL thing in the future, where it's just maybe more on VIAL and not sort of VIA. But I guess time will tell. I wish more people designing boards and companies would, adhere to that. So I know it might be available, but I just wish I don't know if it's going to be compliant and auto load into it. Because again, I think the need to keep that file on hand is a bit of a bummer. It's in ClickClack? Okay. If it's already there, then I'm not worried. I'm not going to boot it up right now. I don't need to, but overall, pretty nice. I have no major complaints about this. I think it's good looking. Like, it definitely looks pretty damn hot. Is the RGB on right now? It is. You guys wanted to see the RGB with the lights dimmed too, right? So let's actually do this. Let's turn it back to wireless mode. Yeah, for $220, the aesthetic of this, the ease of building, can't go wrong at all. Rock, thank you so much for the bits, man. Appreciate that one. I don't need the screw. All right, let's see what this looks like with the lights dimmed. Some people were asking about that. Okay, I'm just going to slowly dim it. Oh, well. So even with full brightness, like on my light, it doesn't look like it's super washed out at all. Here, let me prop it up with something to... What can I use to prop this up? Use this switch box here. So this will give you guys a better idea as well. pretty smooth. Like it's a really nice times out here, but saves battery, which is good. Like I would say that's a really nice graduation of color here, or graduated color rather. Unfortunately, if the QMK GPL license is not followed, it will never auto-load with VIA. Yeah. What's up, Macmillan? How you doing? So I really hope that more people are considerate of that when they're building keyboards. I know there's been a bunch of people that are even boards that we like. They're kind of on the naughty list for that, but again, would be nice. I feel like that's, you know, customer and client friendly. So would be nice. And then is this for, I'm guessing this would be for the indicators? Is that what those other lights were for? I'm actually not sure. What are those other lights for, actually? Beginner here, I would like to ask how to turn a creamy keyboard clacky. Realistically, Chi, it's going to be less foam. And then I would probably look into not getting like overly deep sounding switches. You know, cherry switches are great for that. Long pull switches will give you a bit more of a top end. Depends. I do some research into switches too. But your first step would be realistically kind of ditching the foam. I feel like the foam sound signature is usually correlated with creamy sound signatures. So I think that would be the first step. Keyboard looks very clean. Yeah, it's a very nice looking board. Again, I don't know what I like better, the plastic thing on the inside or not, but...
In before TTS tariffs increases are put in effect, if you don't have orange shorts somewhere in the picture with this board, I'll be super duper upset and leave you a meanie comment.
Okay, fine,
Don't
I'll do
worry,
orange
I'll
shorts with
delete
this.
it later, because I kinda like you.
I can hit numlock, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the thing about being on a Mac... Oh, hold on, I have to unplug and replug this. Is 9 times out of 10, none of these things work. So I have to be on my Windows computer for these things to actually activate. I don't know what this is actually doing on the Mac here. Yeah, it's not numlocking, I'll tell you that much. All right, you guys, you got glitter in your cup? Yeah, it's a glitter cup. Should we do the giveaway now? But yeah, if you guys want this board, it's on 2 different websites. It's going to be on, what's it called there? Bull's website and ClickClack. Starts at $220. I think it's a pretty damn good deal. But I think it's a good pickup. I like the way this sounds. Is it the absolute, like, most banger keyboard I've ever used? No, I definitely prefer some other sound signatures. But I think this is right up there. Like, it's in the 90% percentile thingy, whatever you want to say. It's right up there. It's pretty good sounding for what it is. What's this hyper? Will solve all your Mac keyboard woes? Oh shit. That's actually a pretty sick thing. Wait, I haven't done the giveaway thing yet. Wait guys, wait. For a full-size board especially, this is great. I don't think I'm gonna do full-size only because I got hot swap. So probably not is the answer. Unfortunately. Do you guys feel like we covered enough with this? I feel like we did with and without the plastic. We took a look at really the entire construction of the board. Do you guys feel like there's anything else we need to look at? We tried some different space bars out. I feel like we've covered most of the bases here. We kind of looked at the RGB. Well, taste test. Hold on, let me set up the giveaway thing. This is going to be for the Haishun. I think I'm pronouncing that right or wrong, who knows. Giveaways. It's for a 40% keyboard. Alright, go ahead guys, you guys can enter. We'll just leave it running for 2 minutes. We tried a long pull spacebar as well. What do you think of the included stabs? I think they're fantastic. Like, here's the thing though, it's very rare that I have like mission critical like stab opinions. Unless something literally sticks, does not bind, like binds, doesn't move, like I usually can get stabilizers to sound pretty good. Outside of install errors or problems with the case, you know? The giveaway is for this, minus the keycaps. In case you guys are wondering, this is the giveaway today. I'm only gonna run like 1 or 2 giveaways per month. Like, we're not gonna do big 20 thing giveaways now, but you didn't clip these stabs, right? No, there's no need to. They're screw ends as well. Fun little 40, yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch the last. I think, how many episodes do I have left? Like 2? 2 or 3? Jackie boards do rock. They all sound good. They're all really fun. 3 episodes? Okay. 3 episodes is, I think, perfect for me today. Absolutely perfection. Let me actually see who's streaming as well, that we can go raid. Yeah, see who's... Goodness, my throat is... It's going back to killing me a little bit. Oh, we'll raid Diego. Love me some Diego. Thoughts on Silo's latest episode? I feel like wait, there's more episodes? I thought the season finale happened. Like, I don't want to say what happened, but... I think it's alright. Like, I liked Silo season 2. I think it was good. I just like Squid Games, I think the ending, at least for it, was annoying. Like, I don't know. Maybe Squid Games was a little bit worse in hindsight, but I don't know, man. I don't like being left on giant cliffhangers. Like, I want some, like, reason to watch the next season, sure. But it's so irritating. It feels abrupt, is what I'm trying to say. I don't have GMK Carbon. I wish I did. Oh yeah, Skeleton Crew is amazing. I loved Skeleton Crew, but you have to also want to watch something that's not, I guess, traditionally for adults. Like, it definitely has a bit more of like a kid kind of aspect to it. How does the 10-degree typing angle feel? I would say it doesn't really impact the way I'm typing right now, like, at all. I feel like that might be a question you might have to come back to me in a few days, Dream. But I've used 10 degree in the past, and it's not like crazy. I think where it gets crazy for me is anything above like 11 or 12, which I have used. But I don't think 10 degrees is that crazy. Yeah, and I feel like exactly what Valk just said. I think the low front height really helps with this too. Like, you don't have to feel it. But that's kind of the trade-off for getting these really low front heights, is typically you get a little bit higher of a typing angle. All right, let's see who wins the giveaway here. I'm closing it now. And the winner is going to be... Keeb Collector. What a fitting name. Congrats, Keeb. Can you send me a message on Twitch, and I'll give you the form to fill out this week? And I'll get it to you this week, too. Wait, actually, we have to wait for Keeb Collector to say something in chat. Is Keeb Collector here? Keeb Collector? Uh-oh. Gotta draw again. They dip for sure. Ain't no way. It's been 2 minutes. I'll claim on his behalf. Keeb Science is gonna claim it. Keeb Collector? Hello? They could be on mobile, so I'm gonna give him like a minute. He told me he didn't want it. He's sleeping? Ain't no way, dude. It's been like 2 minutes. But I am a Keeb Collector? That makes sense, McMerlin. Oh man, no way. They ditched already? Oh, I'm here. Okay. He's here. Can you message me on Twitch? I was about to say Twitter. Twitch. And I will give you the form to fill out. Congrats again. No, you're all good, dude. You're all good, dude. Don't even stress, Keeb Collector. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you won. You are all good, my friend. All right. I guess that's pretty much the stream. Oh my God, Zany.
Keeb Collector hates their medieval peasant ancestors.
Still have those.
Their thatched roof house was destroyed by a Canadian man, leading a stampede of frenzied mooses, screaming big tariffs. Listen here, you little sheet, I'm Canadian. I will increase the bit
Okay
tariffs
there, buddy.
because my ears cannot take the sussy things that chat tells me. What is
Oh
rigged
my
or ripped for me?
God,
They
dude.
pried into their burlap tunics as Keep Collector abandoned them to win a keyboard.
Okay there, buddy. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Let's go raid Diego. Fun stream. I hope this was insightful. Like, I truly do, guys. I really hope this helped you guys either A, make a decision for or against the board if you guys were interested. I hope it showed off the board in informational light. Again, not a whole lot to dislike about this board. I don't think there's a lot of... I think this board is well thought out. Like, I don't think there was anything I'd change physically about the board. Maybe not as many badges that say intro, but it's genuinely pretty damn good. So hopefully you guys found this informative, and again, hopefully it helped you make a decision. Kudos to them. I think they did a good job with this. One of the few boards I feel like recently where we haven't had a whole bunch to say about things. So thank you for that, Vertex and everyone else involved with this project. All right, you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys, I think, tomorrow anyways. And stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Until then, love you guys and good night. See you guys.